Race 17 of the meeting. Heat 3, the final heat for Junior Rotax. Let's have a look at the starting grid, shall we? 2 for 2 so far for Kai Gilets from Belgium, and once again both he and Tom Braken line up on the front row. Thomas Strauben and Thomas Stolsemanis, that is row number 2. Mathis Turlo and Ethan Jeff Hall, row 3. Tim Gerhards and Nick Gerhards, that's row 4, with Farin Mega and Bruno Molders making an all JJ Racing top 5th row, completing the top 10. Max Knappen, Theo Blanc, Raphael Renhofer, Janis Diak, Kasper Schormans, Daniel Sugar, Mikkel Pedersen, Harry Linden, Chloe Chong and Vic Stevens. They complete the top 20. Rounding out the 30-strong grid. From Italy, Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Enzo Bol from the Netherlands, Germany's Montego Masson, France's Antoine Brogio, Mozambique's Gazi Motlika, Thomas Kans from France, Marius Rose from Denmark, Greta Rosen from Sweden, with Magnus Pedersen and Eric Martinez representing Denmark, rounding out the 30-strong. Again, as I said earlier on, when we went live this morning, Austin Lee unable to compete in the 3 heats today following a stay in hospital after a visit to A&E yesterday. 7 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap. And after this, we'll just have a few more races remaining here for heat stay. And it has been a hefty one. I think I say that for everybody here at the circuit, and thank you to everybody that is still continuing to watch the official stream provided by promoters and organisers Camp Company GmbH, our live timing provided by MW Race Consulting. So the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry for one final time for Junior Rotax. So even if Kai Gilets doesn't get the clean sweep, with those 2 victories today he's already secured, and having taken pole position in qualifying, he will pretty much put himself at the front of the field. Now it's about the scraps on the table, isn't it? Who's going to be alongside him on the front row? Well, we'll find out later on when the official results have been published and ratified after sporting and scrutineering checks post every session. Gilets, Braken, Strauben, Stolsemanis, Turlu, Jeff Hall, Tim and Nick Gerhards, Farin Mega and Bruno Molders. That is your top 10. Into the final corner they exit. Through the tram lines we go. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights out, we're racing. And again, Gilets gets a whole shot like he needed to, but Braken looking to go around towards the outside. Stolsemanis again being a little bit swamped, but we've had someone go grass tracking, and we've also had one of the Birolot carts. That looks to be Motley Car again. Oh, now that could be a massive, that's an incident, and I could class possibly, is that going to be a red flag? Could that be a red flag? Because there are yellow flags waving and there are carts on top of each other. 2:15 in there. Harry Linden was one of them. So we've got several carts. Montego Masson, I believe, is in there. One of the JJ Racing carts as well. Possibly, maybe Enzo Bol in there. Well, everyone seems to have gotten away as one driver has gone very, very wide and has started kicking up a bit of mud in the air, coming out of turn 8. That was close. Very, very quickly resolved was that incident. And drivers now really on the back foot. That is going to be a race that is going to be a character builder for Harry Linden, amongst other people in there, as well as Montego Masson, amongst others. But also, you've got to factor in which of those drivers are going to carry on, because obviously, depending on the weather, is now Braken trying to go up the inside of Gilets. Oh, now that was a bit of a bump off of the curbing, just off the runoff area, and it sent the left rear of Gilets' cart going skyward, and he caught it. He held on for dear life, like holding onto a bucking bronco. But now, Braken up the inside through turn 6, onto the Europlan. Gilets got the hammer down, then Braken definitely did the switchback. Gilets now trying to go, oh, Braken trying to nigh on, put put the brakes on and turn in before Helitz. Helitz trying to do everything he can, and there is right behind them Thomas Strauven. And now Helitz retakes the lead, going through the exit of turn 8. Bracken now fighting back at him. And Strauven has just got to keep himself composed. And this is where decisions can be made, as I said earlier, and I'm going to keep on saying it. As now Bracken gets an absolute great turn of pace. Passes Helitz coming out of turn 11. Helitz retakes the position back, so retakes the lead, going on the run down to turn 12. Now Strauve staying in touching distance. Better result at the moment for Tomas Stolsamanis from Latvia. The GKS driver now rounding out the top 4 ahead of Tim Gerhards. So Harry Linden, unfortunately, has parked it. The Welsh driver based out of Dinas Powys out of the race, unfortunately. So we'll see what he brings to the firework party tomorrow. So Tim Gerhards closing on Thomas Stolsamanis. Theo Blanc in 6. Mathis Turlo, Bruno Molders, Ethan Jeff Hall and Nick Gerhards round out the top 10. So Kasper Schurmans, Montego Masson, Enzo Boll, Janis Diak. Now I'm just seeing where Janis Diak actually started, because it was literally an incident that, you know, drivers trying to go for the same bit of tarmac is always a difficult decision. Now, we've had a penalty issued. That's for Bruno Molders, leaving the tram lines with 2 wheels. Out of the tram lines on the rolling start formation. So Molders is now, Tim Gerhards trying to send it up the inside of Stolsamanis. Stolsamanis trying to hang on. Gerhards up the inside through turn 2. Gets the move done on the Latvian. But Stolsamanis keeping in proximity. Theo Blanc from France in the 230. In 6. Chloe Chong still now. Farin Mega has tumbled down the order. And so the German in the 276. He started on 9th position. He's now currently 25th and is behind Chloe Chong by about 3 seconds. So quite a few drivers were involved in that melee, and I think it looks like it was towards, it sort of happened from maybe the bottom part of the top 10, and then it sort of concertinaed down, as there is the 277 of Bruno Molders, who's got his way past on the exit of turn 8 on Mathis Turlo. And that's for 7th position. Ethan Jeff Hall has just had Max Knappen overtake him, and there is Tim Gerhard's twin brother, Nick, now running in 11th position and trying to close in. Now, Marius Roos started a bit further down the order, started down in 28th, and the Dane is now up into P12. Rain still coming down here, as Helitz now has an opportunity. Well, there is some more changes. There is dogfighting there. Bruno Molders, amongst other people, trying to get the switch back on Max Knappen. As there is Nick Gerhards, he's going nigh on wheel to wheel. Oh, and he tangles with Mathis Turlo as he overtakes Ethan Jeff Hall on the previous corner. Oh my goodness me. Again and again. These drivers. Now, we've just had another penalty issued. Kasper Schurmans has just received a 5-second time penalty for pushing. So, at the moment, it's not going to be a good day for Kasper Schurmans. It's not going to ruin his race because it's already been ruined, unfortunately, as he is down in 28th position ahead of Germany's Montego Masson. Harry Linden confirms as an official retirement after the lap 1 incident going through turn 3. As now, side by side, Mathis Turlo has just been passed by Marius Roos. I think Antoine Bourchier was in there as well. As, oh, that's getting rather... Oh, now, Turlo's just been on the receiving end of another tag. And that was going into turn 12. And that would have been Antoine Bourchier from France. So, that was... I think Mathis Turlo, he's been beaten up a little bit here. I think he'll be glad when this race is over and done with. But obviously, he has been at the sharp end of the grid. So what he's got to do is just bring the kart home. Timer is now about to expire. As there's a little bit of a side-by-side going down in towards turns 1 and 2. As some of the drivers make their way through into turn 7. So the timer has now expired. And Junior Rotax about to come to its heat day conclusion. As Vilets makes his way through into turn 12. He's now going to get the last lap board. And it's going to be a clean sweep for the defending champion. He's been untroubled. He's been relatively unchallenged, apart from when it goes into the first lap. And even puts on a drift going through turn 1. Hits the brakes. Back end steps out to the left. But then Tom Bracken has got Nick Gerhardt. Now, these two are teammates. You might be a teammate under the awning, but when you're out on track, the one thing you need to do is assert your dominance a little bit. You know, the pecking order, the bragging rights. But Tom Bracken, now, second and third, line astern going down the Europolan. As Nick Gerhardt looks to try and get past Tom Bracken. Still Samanis being pressurised by Strauven, and Theo Blanc has caught up to the back of those two. As there is Rielitz. I think he looks like he's having a little bit of fun there. It's like on a Saturday afternoon jolly. Goes on the brakes, back end steps out to the left-hand side, just controls it. As Tom Bracken manages to control his car under braking ahead of Tim Gerhardt's. As there goes Thomas Strauven on Thomas Stolsamanis. But 3 for 3. It's been a perfect weekend. Kai Rielitz does the treble here at Karting Genk and puts himself on pole position for tomorrow's finals day. Tom Bracken edges out Nick Gerhardt by just over 3 1/4 tenths of a second to take second position. A good drive there from Tim Gerhardt from 7th to 3rd. 4th place, good to see Thomas Strauven in the mix as well, with Thomas Stolsamanis from Latvia rounding out the top 5 positions. Theo Blanc started in 12th, finished in 6th place. Bruno Mulders will be receiving a 3-second time penalty, and that will drop him down behind Max Knappen and Nick Gerhardt, demoting the Dutchman down to 9th place. And also, 244 will get a 5-second time penalty post-race. Also, well, for pushing, and the 244 is Kasper Schormans. But as I said earlier, his race was over very, very early, and he just had to bring the kart home. Max Knappen, Nick Gerhardt and Antoine Peugeot ran out the top 10 provisionally before any penalties are applied. Marius Roos, Ethan Jeff Hall, Mathis Turlo, Magnus Pedersen, Mikkel Pedersen, Daniel Sugar, Eric Martinez, Vic Stevens, Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Greta Rosen, Thomas Kans, Fahrein Mega, Gazi Motlika, Rafael Renhofer, Chloe Chong, Janis Diak and Enzo Boll round out the top 27 drivers, with 30 having competed in this. So Kasper Schormans ahead of Montego Masson, with Harry Linden retiring on the very first lap, with Austin Lee a non-starter.